Do you want to stop your kids from crying? Then you buy this car because it has something cool built into the armrest here. As you can see, it's got little slats so you can place your phone. It won't move anywhere and your kids can stay entertained by showing them YouTube videos of Peppa Pigs or even me, Driven Plus. But is it me or has Renault been cooking recently? I think their design team deserves a pay rise and this is called the Renault Rafale. And today I'm going to review it. I'm Max Adavani. Welcome to Driven Plus. So in the 1920s, Renault developed engines for trains, planes and cars, and they developed something called the Quadrant 430 Rafale, and that was a fast sports plane. So they decided to name this car after that plane. But I got a question for you, Renault. Who decided to name a mid-sized SUV after an agile sports plane? Okay, I'd get it if it was a sports car, but anyway, that's that thing out of the way. Let's have a look under here. So whatever Rafale model you buy, they're always going to be a hybrid and you're always going to get the same sized engine. And it's this 1.2 litre, 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. And this in itself puts out around 130 horsepower. It's also got two electric motors, one being 50 kilowatt and the other being 25 kilowatt. So combined, it now produces 197 horsepower with around top speed of 111 miles per hour. And it puts its power to the front wheels only. And Renault say it'll do a 0 to 60 time of 8.9 seconds, so let's find out. So it's time to launch the Renault Rafale from 0 to 60. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car. Now, this car doesn't have launch control, I don't think. No, but I've put it in sport mode and let's see what we're going to get. Here we go. Come on, 8.9 to beat. Ooh, picks up top end, 8.33, there we go, we'll have that. Now the base version of the Rafale starts from around £38,000 and rises up to around £44,000. If you're to buy one though, I'd personally go for this version. It's called the Esprit Alpine version, which gives you the best specification. And this price of this car is £43,294. But for around the same price, you can buy a BMW X2. Now this car has keyless entry, so you don't have to press unlock, just walk up to it. It will automatically unlock, and when you get in, you are greeted by this kind of sense of occasion, which is like a news hour flash. And in today's news, that's what it sounds like. But I got to say, the overall impression of this interior is it's bloody beautiful. It's built really well. The use of materials, squidgy leather's good. All this headlining linen, it's brilliant. Now coming onto the steering wheel here, now you've got a nice Renault badge there. But coming onto the left side here, you've got your different buttons. So this button here is for your cruise control. So it takes the traffic light recognition and you just press that rather than have to go up manually to the speed limit. And the overall use here, you've got Alcantara down here, the French flag with all the stitches, nice leather. You've got your multi-sense badge built in, which is your different driving modes. And the paddles here, now these are for your regenerative braking, not the gears. But one annoying thing, I think, is this side of the steering column. It's very cluttered. Here's your gear stick. Sometimes when I drive it, I press the wipers up and down because I think that's the gear stick, which is a bit annoying. Obviously, you've got your media buttons there to control the volume and the infotainment. Now, if we turn the car on, that's what puts me into my driving position. Now, infotainment-wise, or driver's display, you get a 12.3 inch there, and you've got your Google Maps built in. And you've got different menus you can see. You've got your econometer, your energy flow, your distance, consumption, water temperature, and obviously when your next oil change is due and your service, and then you can just have no menu. But if I press this button here, I can change the layout of this screen. But one annoying thing is that it takes absolutely ages to go between different screens. And I don't know why they're doing it, but you can see the speedo there. It's cut off and it's gone through two different lines as well. I just find it a bit weird. And we go through the different menus again. And if you're driving, you just want it to go straight to the next menu, not for it to take a while. And it just gets impeded, this speedo. I don't know. But other than that, it's pretty easy to use. I like the fact that it's got Google integrated as well. Now, when we go onto the infotainment screen here, if I go onto the home button, then you've got Hey Google built in, but it doesn't work at the moment because we've got no Wi-Fi. But if we go on car, you've got electric here, all obviously the motors there. Now the seats, if we go on here, you've got some sort of lumbar activated. So if we go on sequence, this car has massage seats, so you can have it low, extended or alternate, which is a great feature. Now when we go into air quality, or the air quality coming in, and it gives you some sort of score, mine's 32 out of 100, which isn't very good. Dynamic chassis, so what pitch and roll you're at. Obviously the vehicle and welcome lights and driving lights, which is nice. And yeah, you've got your settings all over there, and you've got your comfort, eco, sport, and all the buttons there, so you can configure sport, what ambient lighting, how much steering effort you want it to go in, medium, low, and this is pretty cool. So you've got your four-wheel steer, and the maximum is 13, but say you want little input, you can bring it all the way down to 7, which is pretty cool. And the good fact on the four-wheel steer is good for this car. So that's that screen there, and all the you've got heated steering wheel, heated seats as well, and all your climate controls is built into the touchscreen as well. But in terms of internal storage-wise, it's really good. You've got your two cup holders down here, and you've also got two USB-C sockets down there, as you can see. And this thing here, you can push in and out, and you've got an additional storage down there. And here, you've got your wireless charging pad. But I gotta say, this thing though is very much like a thrust reservoir, or whatever you call it, on a Boeing, like a jet fighter. I feel like you want to put this down to make it go faster. But in terms of extra other storage wise, you've got your bit of a split opening thing down there, and you've also got a glove box there. So in terms of internal storage things, it's actually really, really good. I say use of materials there. You've got like the French flag with a stitch in there. You know, it's a great place to be. I'm a big fan of the interior of the Renault Rafale. Now, one feature where I do think Renault should have improved is the reversing camera. Obviously, it's a good feature that it's got it, but when I put it into reverse, as you can see, it's not really that clear. It looks like some TV from 2005 or some person's dodgy CCTV camera. However, though, one good feature is that it is dynamic and it moves with the direction of the steering wheel. As you can see, as you turn the steering wheel, it moves with it. So that feature is really good. So on the Rafale, you get these 20-inch alloy wheels as standard, and they look really great, and they work well with the exterior colour of this car. It looks really good in black, by the way. Now, coming to the front here, I can turn the lights on via the key. Now, you've got these LED matrix headlights, and below them you get these LED daytime running lights, but they look like something off a plane. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Please tell me, Renault. Now, coming to the front here, talking about a plane. Now, where this car has got its name from, the Rafale Quadron, that's the same colour that that plane was in, so that's quite a nice touch. And the badge here is also the sensor for the adaptive cruise control. Now, coming to the rear of the car, and I have to say, it's got a great shape about it. This extended rear spoiler here, you've got the lights which look awesome. You've got dynamic indicators as well on this car, and you've got the Rafale with the font there. Now, when we open the boot, which you can do via the key, it does like to let people know it is opening with that sound. Now here we have 535 litres, and below that we have an external storage space as well, which is massive, and that now extends to 647 litres. That's a really good sized boot. So I've lived with this car for the weekend now, and every time I've started it, it always starts in electric mode only, and the stop button is here. Makes that little noise to tell you that it's ready to go, and you get that ready animation on the screen. Now your gear stick is on the steering column here, so it's very much like a Mercedes. Drive, ready to go. It's very quiet. And when we come to the junction here, you know, visibility isn't actually that bad, but say you come up to a junction, visibility there is impeded slightly, and it's only until it requires so the engine then kicks in. And if you're planning to buy the Rafale, I don't think you're going to be particularly too bothered about the engine choices or engine sizes, because you're pretty stuck with choice. You only get the 1.2 litre 3-cylinder engine combined with the hybrid, but you do get a few choices of either being plug-in or self-charging. This one's self-charging, by the way. But considering this is Renault's flagship SUV, there's no more expensive Renault in their lineup that you can buy other than the Rafale. I'd be pretty disappointed knowing the fact that I'm only getting a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder engine for around £40,000 to £45,000. That's my opinion. However, you've got to get with the times. I understand that. You know, the way it's all going, it's not Renault's fault. But I have to say, You know, it doesn't feel like a 3-cylinder engine because you've got the torque of an electric motor there. It drives lovely, I will say. But because it's got an electric motor and a small engine, that does mean one good thing: fuel economy. So expect somewhere in the region of 45 to 60 miles per gallon, depending on your driving. I've been mixed and I've been seeing those numbers, which is really good. But say you wanted something quicker, Renault are also going to offer an Alpine version of the Rafale with around 300 horsepower and 4-wheel drive. Still comes with a 1.2 litre engine though, but you get more power from the electric motor. So the engine works with a 4-speed gearbox, and then the electric motor adds that with another 2 speeds. So essentially it's a 6-speed auto. So what's it like if I put my foot down? Well, you've got the instant torque of the electric motor to add to that, and then the engine kicks in, and it's pretty responsive, to be fair. But say you're just pottering around town, mostly you're going to be in electric mode, but you can hardly tell the car changing gear. It's that smooth, it's that fluid, it's really comfortable. And this is a big car as well. Don't be thinking it's the same size as the Arcana, because it's not. But because it's big, it's really nice to drive. It holds itself really nicely on the road, gives you a really nice driving position. You've got the heads-up display as well. Holds itself pretty well in a corner as well. And it's seriously spacious inside. But because it's big, at first instant, you question whether you can turn around in a tight spot. This little lay-by here, we're going to do a 360. And then you remember, you have 4-wheel steer. So it now has a turning circle of a small city car, and that's just absolutely incredible. Wow. And I'm seriously going to put this out there. When you're driving this car in electric only mode, it's as quiet as any new Range Rover. It is, because you've got the double glazed windows, you haven't got the noise of the engine coming in. It's really satisfying. It's just really nice. It's a nice place to be. It's soothing. Yeah. So this car does give you some different driver modes, and you can flick through them via this multi-sense button on the steering wheel. So we're going to press that, normal driving is in comfort. We press it again, you go into Eco, so that utilises the electric motor as much as it can. Then you've got Sport, we'll come back to Sport in a minute, and then you've got Personalisation, so you can set up to how you want it. And the thing I like about the different modes is that the car has different ambient lighting settings for every mode, so that's pretty cool. So like when you go into Eco, it's in green, and when you go into Sport, it's red. And let's see what it's like in Sport. Let's see a bit of a series of bends here. So the engine pulls pretty nice and strong. The initial pickup is good. Now this is a nice little tight bend to see what it's like. 2-ton car, by the way. Yeah, it's actually quite agile, and the engine does pull quite strong. And yeah, if you do push on, I'd say it's a little too sharp. There is a disconnection from the steering. It's a little bit light, but other than that, you're not going to be chucking this around the bends, are you? Let's be honest. So my conclusion on the Rafale is that it looks great inside and out, and I think you're going to love it. I've actually really enjoyed living with it this weekend. I like I actually don't mind a hybrid because it gives you the best of both worlds. But in terms of looking against its German competitors, it gives you everything you could possibly want at a more attainable price point, I think. You know, it's got the nice dash inside, the materials are great. Why would you want to go and spend more for a German badge where the Renault badge gives you everything? I suppose it's personal preference at the end of the day, but if you chose to go for the Rafale, you will not be disappointed one bit. So thank you to Renault for giving me this car, my first ever Renault car. I'm sure there'll be more of them to come. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you soon for more content. And thanks to Ben as well. See you guys, cheers.